Hey everybody, Chris here, and welcome to another Dark Avengers comic book review. We got a good amount of comics this week. I have two books I'd like to actually discuss that Amber brought to my attention that are pretty interesting, pretty cool. Just want to throw them out on the review. And my final, at least for now, Radical pick, the last trade paperback that I have received from Radical. Then unfortunately I have no trade paperbacks left. We'll get into that in a second. Also, Amber has two new comics this week that have been released that she will be discussing. One I was supposed to read too, but I didn't have the time to. And Mike actually is reviewing a semi-comic book thing, but he'll explain that later. You guys know also Joe and Kevin are switching places this week on the table. And you guys know Amber, who I introduced, my cameraman, and finally a reviewer this week, Mike, with the camera right now, but you'll be seeing him shortly. And yeah, so let's get into this week's. First, we're going to get into the Radical pick. No update for Spawn this week. I did get a few comics, but I want to wait till I get a nice amount, a few more before I start talking about it. Okay, this week's final pick is Caliber, First Canon of Justice. This is like Excalibur, only Arthur. It's not. It doesn't take place in like rural, like nighttime. It's like the Western. It's like a Western feel, and instead of it being a sword, it's a gun. And in the
called a Caliber.
In the beginning, it's a Native American, and he's looking for the wielder of the gun. And he's told that the wielder of the gun will bring great justice to the world and will prevent the world from basically ending. And at first, he gives it to this man who he thinks the gun belongs to, and the man uses it, and he dies. And it turns out later on, his son Arthur is the true wielder of the gun. And it's an epic battle. The artwork is, once again, amazing. I will show you guys my favorite
Who is the lady with the red hair?
The lady with the red hair, that's Arthur's girlfriend.
Kind of like Mary Jane.
Sort of, yeah, but she's not Mary Jane. Let's see, where's a good
I don't think you can compare anything to Mary Jane, no offense.
No, she looks
No, I don't
like
think you can compare anything to Mary Jane.
No, she looks a little like her, that's why I said
the artwork.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to find the picture with the gun. Where'd it go? Oh,
I meant the relationship, though.
Here's one shot of what the gun can do. It's awesome. The gun has like this great power. It's amazing. It's like Excalibur. I like one of these comic bulletins said Excalibur just got an upgrade. I agree. This book was off the hook amazing. From beginning to end, I couldn't even drop that. Here we go. I could not even drop the book. That's how great it was. If
Why
you guys,
did you drop the book anyway?
I couldn't put it down. Smart ass. So it was just amazing from beginning to end. I hope in the future Radical will be making a follow-up series to Caliber, because it was just too damn good. Absolutely 10 out of 5 stars. Once again, I have been loving what Radical sent me. I would like to say right off the bat, I thank you, Radical, for all the books you sent me. If you ever would like me to do some more in the future, I'm positive that I've loved every single book that has been put in front of me, and I'm not just saying that. I'm actually serious. I've read these books, and I have witnesses all over the place.
Yeah, their artwork is amazing.
The artwork captures you, and the story holds you.
Aladdin was great. The story of Aladdin, that was awesome.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They know how to capture readers. So, hopefully in the future, I'll be getting more old stuff from Radical. If not, hopefully there'll be some new stuff I'll be getting soon from them, and I just look forward to what's next in store for Radical, because they're just an amazing company.
The best for them.
RadicalPublishing.com, guys. You can find these books. You can find apparel. You can find shirts. Well, that's the apparel. Hats, everything. Check out RadicalPublishing.com. Amazing people. I hope next week I have something from them so that I can continue to talk about their company. Their company is amazing. Please, I don't say it unless it's true, and it is. In my opinion, Radical Publishing has great books. Absolutely check them out. I do this for you guys. I want you guys to know what's great and what's not out there. Now, a little quickie. Amber found this one. I'm going to do this first. It's called Trickster, Native American Tales, a graphic collection. It's a nice sized book. And inside has...
It looks like a real book.
Yeah, it has little stories, different artists, different stories. All Native American tales and stuff. I don't know, Amber, did you read this?
Yes, I did.
In full?
It's actually... Yeah, it's pretty cute. I mean,
it does. It has cute artwork.
If you like reading little things that have morals, kind of like Aesop's fables. This
They're
is
only
one
like,
thing that's like that.
they're only like 3 or 4 pages each.
There is, but at the same time,
Ooh.
it's not really. It's more
I didn't read this
of
one yet. I love the artwork for the wolf.
It's more of a book about the Native Americans and how things came to be. Like the
okay.
stars, for instance. There was one where the jackal ended up dropping all of the pebbles that he had, and it scattered all of the pictures across the sky.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna
Because
buy this. I like this.
other animals were actually drawing themselves in the sky, and now it was bright. That's how the light came to be.
So that's the moral. That's
Then there's also one here that's like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but some of them are actually, there's no moral to it, but it's kind of cute just to read what it's about.
Yeah, I'm actually, I'm gonna go into the market. I'm gonna check on Midtown, and if they don't have it, I'll check Amazon. I actually really like this book. Who makes it? Who made this book? It's not a comic company. This
But
is
I'd
just
say,
a random. I'm sorry, Amber. It's random.
Oh, okay.
I would say that a lot of it, there is a lot of trickery involved.
Trickster.
Well, that's why it's
Trickster.
Trickster.
Hence the name
And it's the
Trickster.
bunny. The bunny is the Trickster.
No, not in all of them.
Well, most of them.
Not really.
From what I was reading, it looked like it.
Here's a raven. There was
Raven is
one
Is that
with
supposed to be
rabbit.
Moby Dick?
There was,
I think so.
So
no.
they're all little short
There was
stories?
one with a rabbit.
Shamu, whatever.
Yeah, there is one with a rabbit. I just don't know where exactly. Here it is.
Here it is.
Here, there. There's the cover right here. Here's the story.
The one with the rabbit is
That sounds
actually
cool.
based off of, like, it tricked the crocodile,
Oh,
who
okay.
had smooth skin,
It's different.
into believing something was stronger than him. It was the fire, which is how the crocodile got scaly.
And then finally, Amber found this. Mike read the actual novel. I thought this was cool because when Mike was telling me about it, I'm talking about the Odyssey. When Mike told me about the book, I was interested, but when Amber said she found this in the library, I thought it was pretty cool. They actually took the entire novel of the Odyssey and changed it into comic book form.
That's
And
interesting.
Mike actually reread it. Mike knows the story more than I do. I didn't read this yet at all. But from what you were saying, Mike, they really depicted a lot of the characters perfectly. Some you didn't expect to look the way they did. The artwork is really, it's nice. It's not like top notch, but it's not really a comic book. It's more of a graphic novel. So what do you have to say about this, Mike?
It's very good. From what I read, The Odyssey of Homer.
Yes.
It's very good. Basically, the story is about Odysseus's journey back to his homeland, which
Finding
is
out about his father.
yeah, which is Ithaca, and his son Telemachus goes out on a journey to find out where his father is and all that stuff. I don't want to give too much away, but I have to say, it has Zeus and all the other
I probably won't pick
gods
that
in
up.
it.
I won't pick that up because
Yeah.
Mike has the actual novel, but I want to pick up Tricksters.
Yeah, but that's
Alright.
easy. That's easy to read than the book, definitely.
Yeah, of course. It's like
Okay, now let's get into this
Yeah,
week's
definitely.
comic books. These comics were released on Wednesday, February 23rd, 2011. We're starting off here with Boom Studios' The Traveler, number 4, concluding, well, I believe it's concluding the first story arc at least, because it feels like the first story is done. The Traveler confronts himself, and you find out everything he's done from issue 1 all the way to now was to delay his present self from getting to the actual experiment, which turns him into the Traveler. And it was a success. It was a success. His girlfriend turned out not to be dead anymore. She's now lost in time. And you find out the whole birth of the Split Second Men. And I think it was kind of weird. It was this part I'm gonna spoil, so I'm warning you guys right here. This is a spoiler. He actually has a fight. The present Traveler fights. The present his name is Ronald, is fighting the Traveler and ends up he kills his future self. That's exactly what happens
all
here.
time traveling? Or no?
So,
It's some time he does some type of paradox where he actually kills himself and then merges together with him, and
Unique.
very unique. And also you find out that Colding is the other guy that leads the Split Second Men, and it fights against the Traveler. And so now the present Ronald is the Traveler. I'm guessing that will be in the issues from this time forward. And yeah, that's how they leave you off. They actually just leave it off where the Traveler that we've seen for the past 3 issues is now gone, and the present Ronald is now the Traveler. So I guess what they're going to do is they're going to go backwards now and show how he went from here to the Traveler he was in the very beginning of this issue, or something like that. I don't understand where it's going, but I'm loving it. I'm loving this series. I can't wait for the next story. Or it says to be continued, so I can't wait for the next part. It's really, really good. I can't wait to see now that the
sounds good.
present Ronald is now the Traveler. It's going to be interesting seeing him learn all of his powers
Tell you
all
what,
over
it's not
again.
predictable. You can't.
No, it's going to be fun watching him learn what kind of powers he has. Unless he knows already, and they're going to make like some kind of a paradox.
They
where
might,
he
they
already
might.
knows. They probably will. Okay, a little bit of a, I don't want to say a disappointment, but I was a little disappointed this week. Spawn 203. There's no Spawn in this issue at all, but Spawn has done that before.
Still
Why
dark.
is that?
Very dark. And the cover is very misleading. I'm sorry, Mike. The cover is very misleading. There's no Spawn, there's no gunfight, there's nothing. It's all about Jim and his healing powers. And he gets pissed off with the paparazzi because they won't leave him alone. And he's trying to be with his friend Julia. And one of the paparazzis gets hit by a bus. And everybody's like, you have the healing power, heal him. And he's like, no. He can go to hell. That's how the comic ends. He's like, no, he can go to hell.
Oh.
The end. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm reading so many old Spawn now. It's just, I don't know.
Can I ask you a question? Where does he tie into the Spawn series? This healing guys, Jim.
I don't know yet. They're gonna, the next issue they claim that Blood is gonna be testing. His minions are gonna test out how strong the Hell Spawn is. This new Hell Spawn is. So
okay. They're testing the waters themselves.
hopefully we'll see Spawn in the next issue. That's all I'm gonna say. It was an okay
There's
issue.
no
I don't know.
Spawn comic without Spawn, right?
Yeah.
No, but
No.
this.
Well, the
this
thing
didn't
is called
have
Spawn.
Yeah, it didn't have the actual Spawn in it. This one made up for the Spawnless issue that came out. Spawn.
Architects
Art-
of Fear.
Architects.
Architects of Fear. This has the Spawn I know and the Spawn I like. Al Simmons is Spawn in this issue.
There we go. That's what
This was good. This had Spawn in it, and the person on the cover is an angel, but she's been corrupted. And Al's brother Mark gets caught up in this whole problem between this woman who wants to be able to. There are people that are getting stuck on Earth, well, from hell. They're trapped from hell. They're not ready to cross over, and they're going to go to hell because these are evil souls. And it turns out that Mark gets involved in this somehow, and Spawn has to save him. And in the end, he has to fight the Dark Angel, and in the end, the angels actually come back and do some and try and they make her reborn. I kind of found that a little funny.
It's not like a side.
I thought it was
Spawn?
cool. Huh?
It's not like a side issue.
It's a side issue. It has nothing. It has nothing to do with the actual continuity. I thought this was cool. When Spawn was in this place where all these evil souls were, he actually allowed the dark souls to join. He like absorbed the evil souls, like he let them
Yeah,
inside of
cool.
him. And he actually, I want to show you what he looked like
Interesting.
after he absorbed, after he took them in. And this is what he turned out to look like. The Spawn in this this issue, this special, doesn't look like the Spawn we know. They completely revamped the suit, the way Spawn looks. The artwork was beautiful though. This reminds me a little bit of Radical. The artwork is
They did a
kind of
great
like
job,
Radical.
yeah.
They did a beautiful job with Spawn.
Not as dark either, definitely.
It's dark, but it's not as dark.
Not
It
as.
has that little blend in here and there of light and dark.
Kind of like that.
I loved it. I loved the series. Not the series. I loved this one shot, and it was really good. I'm hoping to see Al Simmons' Spawn again at some point in the actual comic book. But since Jim Downing's been around for like a year, if not more now, I don't think we're going to be seeing that anytime soon. But I absolutely, out of the two Spawn that came out this week, if you can only get one, this one was great.
Yep.
You can hold off on this for a few weeks because it was all right. I mean, I understand they were trying to develop Jim Downing's character before they actually make him Spawn. But I'm already reading like the first 100 issues of Spawn, and I'm used to it just jumping right in. Issue 1, it didn't even give you an origin. It just threw you right in the mix of, okay, here's Spawn. This is what he's gonna do. Go. And it went. This seems more like they're trying to flesh out the actual new Spawn, and it's kind of like stretching the series. I want to see like the way Spawn was back in the 90s. I want to see Spawn just getting down into action, you know.
Once again, I'm opening up the point. You gotta say that that's the comic book changes of the 90s to today. They actually have development today, whereas in the 90s they just jumped right into the action.
The 90s had it right, though. I don't know why they changed it when the
They're
90s
stretching
had
it out
right.
now more.
Yeah, they shouldn't be stretching out Spawn at all. Spawn is a really cool character. He's an awesome character. The only thing I wish is that I hope that Al Simmons comes back at some point and becomes Spawn again, and Jim Downing kind of like gets phased out.
I know what you
But
mean.
I don't think that's going to be happening for a nice amount of years. But I love Spawn anyway. I'll keep buying it. I really do enjoy it. So don't think I'm bashing the series. I'm not even bashing it. I'm just wishing that Spawn would have a little bit more
Old school.
involvement in
90s,
his comic
I know.
instead of it just being his side
90s.
person.
Maybe next week.
Okay, IDW, and then we're gonna get into one of the ones Amber's holding. IDW Infestation Star Trek Part 2 of 2. This was fun. This was great how it ended actually. Once again, Kirk, Spock, and Dr. McCoy are now locked themselves in a building, and they meet up with one of the robots. And I thought it was interesting. They find out that it's not a classic zombie thing where once you're a zombie permanent.
That's cool.
They find out there's a way to cure the zombie infection, and they actually build up a serum and they start curing people. And in the end, they shoot off these missiles, and it rains down on everybody. And it's kind of like a classic Star Trek. You feel like you're watching a classic Star
Did
Trek.
anyone actually get cured?
They all got cured in the
Oh,
end.
really?
All of them got cured. It rained down on
That's what
everybody, and
they did,
everybody
right?
was magically
Happy ending.
restored. I'm glad. Transformers was awesome. Star Trek was okay. The next two stories I'm looking forward to the most. Ghostbusters, G.I. Joe.
Ghostbusters. Oh, those are great.
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe. Yeah.
Infestation's doing great though. Infestation's really doing great. If you guys are not on board with this,
G.I. Joe.
you should
I was
jump.
thinking
You
this
should
song.
jump into it. I don't think that any particular part, like I don't think you have to buy Star Trek to understand what happened in Transformers. You have to buy G.I. Joe to understand what's going on in Ghostbusters. I'm just buying it to have the entire series. I'm enjoying it. The artwork, once again, was really, really awesome. Here, let's see. It has vampires in it yet again, because that woman is still involved. But, wait, there was one line. This is classic Star Trek, and this is why I never really liked William Shatner.
William Shatner.
Surely,
Me neither.
the woman comes in and says, I don't know what you think
He's
you're doing,
overreacted.
but it cannot be permitted. We must be allowed to spread, to thrive. And then Kirk goes, surely we can come to some sort of peaceful agreement. After all, we're both whack. That was what I liked.
Wow. Let me see.
Surely we can
Which
come.
was?
Yeah, he says we can come to some whack. No agreement. Nope. Not here. No agreement.
William
So
Shatner.
I thought it was great. I thought it was hilarious. It was great. It's just that one moment. It's like you're
Actually,
serious.
trying to picture it on TV of William Shatner
Yeah.
actually acted out.
It has happened.
So it was great. Okay, just throwing. Wait, Amber, do this one. Amber has now one of her. This is the last independent one we have actually this week. That's why I'm saying.
It's a wraparound cover of Lady Death.
I love the
number 2.
wraparounds. I was supposed to read that. I didn't read it this week.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what happened in this issue? You wouldn't know. So I will be the one to tell. Okay. So I found out. No, I'm gonna show some things. Don't put it away. Okay. So I found out that the Death Queen is actually part of Lady Death's soul incarnated into somebody else. Okay. And she took Lady Death's powers and scattered them across the continents, banishing Lady Death to Earth. Now Lady Death is using those shards from that mirror that she was given to find out where her soul is buried. And she finally finds one piece, but first, before I get into that, she sails across the Mediterranean for 5 days, okay? And I think it's kind of a creepy thing that happens, but I'll show you anyway. Okay, so the captain's like, okay, you're here. And then he's like, well, if you were a man, I would trade with you, but instead I'm going to take what I want. So he's trying to take something from her that you guys can see. Huh?
Nothing.
And yeah, she ended up stabbing him in a spot that's very painful. But then as she's going across the desert, she gets kidnapped. She fights, and she's fighting these humongous scorpions.
That's what Kanata?
Scorpions?
Scorpions.
I looked through it. It
Humongous
seems
scorpions.
really awesome.
Okay,
Wow.
she helped save a woman who was taken in a trade. She was doing like a trading thing. Got
I thought she was
separated
looking
from
for a
her
piece of her
guards.
soul.
She is, but she got
Yeah.
separated. This girl got separated from the guards. Lady Death helps this girl escape. She finds the piece of her soul, which is here. Okay, amongst all of the scorpions. And in the end, which I'm going to do a
You
huge
giving away
rant
the ending?
later. Huh?
You
No,
giving
no,
away-
no.
Oh, okay.
Okay. She uses the
Piece of her soul.
piece of her soul to kill the scorpions, and that's where I'm going to leave you.
Oh, okay.
That's where they left you.
Yeah, that's where I left me, but I didn't show the last exact part. So,
Yeah.
but I'm going to do a rant
What's
later.
your rant?
I'm not doing it now. I will
Oh,
do it
okay.
later. Anyway,
Yeah.
back to you, Chris.
Alright, now before I get into more of the big two this week, I actually want to give Michael his say because he has a comic. He has actually, it's sort of like a comic book, so Michael,
Yes.
explain.
Oh, you don't see my hand. Now you see all of me this time.
Yeah.
Alright, so the comic book I'll be reviewing this week is Marvel vs. Capcom Fate of Two Worlds. It says issue 3, but the reason why is because it's Marvel vs.
It's
Capcom
small.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Move your fingers.
Oh, sorry about that. Alright, basically just sum it all up. It's like a 6 to 7 page of the Chris Redfield meeting Incredible Hulk. It's basically Marvel meeting Capcom in two different
A
worlds.
backstory.
Yeah. And then the villains meet up with each other and what's the goblin's name?
That's the
Super
Fate of
Skrull has a score to settle with Galactus because he has like some type of revenge. They don't really go into detail.
Because he ate his planet.
Yeah, and you get a nice cover right here.
Oh, you knew that? Yeah,
Chris.
I read the
Chris.
comic.
Yeah, you get a nice art here of Marvel and Capcom people facing each other. Dante,
That's
Deadpool,
I thought,
Ryu,
wait,
Wolverine.
I want to show.
Yeah, actually, the leaders of Capcom is Ryu, and leader of Marvel is Wolverine, like Cable and Ruby Hart was in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And let's see. So then they're fighting, and then Wolverine was saying we shouldn't be fighting. We should ask him that we should be fighting, and who would that be? None other than Galactus himself. And on the bottom, Iron Man.
Movie hand.
Yeah. And Iron Man saying that we are screwed, and
We're officially screwed.
yeah,
Yeah.
to be continued, which means you have to continue it on yourself, and I will show you why he said that. There's great art galleries which show all the characters that are in the game.
Unfortunately, you have to buy the game to get this comic, though. By the way.
Yeah, it's a special edition. Here are the
What's
others,
the problem with that?
which I have to mention.
enjoy the comic.
You know, because you gotta buy the special
Yeah,
edition.
if you got the special
Oh, the
edition,
special edition. Okay.
on March 15th, you get to get Jill Valentine and Shamu
Sumo
Yeah,
Gorath.
I mean, what's
Sumo.
the
I'm really not.
Well, Sumo
familiar with
Gorath,
this
really,
name.
because it has the H and it's silent. But yeah.
There's campaign art here. I want to point out the one I found that was my favorite one. Right here. Wolverine and Ryu just staring at each other. That's like a wow. And their names also, which I won't mention who drew what. Let's see, what else is there? I mean, the artwork, even though it was short, the artwork was amazing. The story was excellent. It points out what to expect before you play the game.
That's good.
It's just really amazing. Here's another art that's good right here. It's like this woman here hit puberty at a really early stage right there.
Trombone?
Yeah,
Trombone?
puberty hit her like a ton of
Yeah,
bricks.
superheroes.
Yeah.
And here's a second Thor and Ryu.
Right.
You know, with the
Well, that's not the one he was.
yeah, I really like the
Okay,
artwork.
that looks good.
Marvel and Capcom. It's really, really amazing.
They even have funny
Yeah, fan
ones in there.
art. Yeah, I want to show you the funniest one. With actually two of them. You get this one right here.
Chibis!
Yes, thank you, Kevin. And let's see. There's the last one. Well, this one's good too, right here. And this one, I was like, really? That was like.
It's funny.
Yes, it is.
Alright, but just to cover this part, March 15th, you get these two characters. That is if you pre-ordered this game right here, which is Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Fate of Two Worlds. I have done unboxing video on my site, Dude Rock 18. And like I said in the video, you can see Kevin's video, Shadow 000 of us doing a match. And in my future videos, I will do this. But if you pre-order the game, and if you got this comic book, I would say it's highly recommended to read this comic book because it leads right into this game where you will face Galactus. And he is difficult. No matter what mode you play, he is difficult. But
it's a wonderful
yeah,
game.
but if I had to give this and this ratings, I would give this a definite 5 out of 5 rating. And this game,
It's an incentive for the game.
it's really like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. They're both excellent.
Yep.
You know, I never played Marvel vs. Capcom 1 actually. I gotta look into that. But
think I
yeah,
played it
so if you pre-ordered this, it's recommended that it's to be read. And just remember to get Jill, Valentine, and Sumo Gora. That is March 15, 2011. So now, that's all the comics out this week. Back to Chris.
Yeah, I know what you guys are thinking, and Mike wanted to review that comic, so...
It's very
Better
short,
it's
that's
better
it.
It's better that than
I bet
nothing.
you could find second
Hopefully one day he'll get into some real contemporary...
I will try, I will
You can find
try.
those used on eBay and Amazon. People sell them after they're
Oh yeah, and I got on Amazon.com too, by the way.
Yeah, we all know.
the comic, I mean, itself. Just
Alright guys, so we're at 25 minutes, so we're going to cut out here.
Really?
And,
Well, 26
we'll go
minutes,
back
yeah.
to the big two. We'll get into the big two really quickly. Amber has one more from the big two, and I have a couple left. So we'll see you guys in part 2. Stick around for the big two coming up next.
Peace and chicken grease.